you all. This is Orshi, your Ayurvedic health counselor here at Wellness Wave Creations. Whether you catch this extended video on YouTube or on my Facebook business page, there is a shorter version of this subject matter. I welcome you in this space. So without any further ado, today I would like to speak to you guys about what I call the wellness code. What is she talking about? So as you guys know, in Ayurvedic medicine, we have got what we call doshas, and we examine people's doshas. What does that mean? Dosha is a physiological energy force, a biological energy force that you're comprised of. So every single one of us and everybody in the universe, everything that's alive in the universe is comprised of 5 elements. We call this the 5-element theory in Ayurveda. So out of those 5 elements, which I do very much talk about them a lot on this channel and on these pages, so please scroll down on Facebook. There's a lot of content on the page of Wellness Wave Creations about air, ether, fire, water, and earth, as Ayurvedic medicine being the actual longest, oldest holistic science known to mankind, have never been able to, get debunked yet on the 5-element theories. So everything is comprised of these 5 elements. And out of those 5 elements, we actually group them into 3 particular categories, if you will, or default systems. One of them is Vata, which is comprised of air and ether. The other is Pitta, which is comprised of mostly fire with a very little water. And thirdly, Kapha, which is comprised of water and earth energetics. So what does this mean? How does this show up in the real world? Well, I have been contemplating on how to communicate this more successfully to you guys, and why it is so important to have a wellness code, and what does that mean to be in wellness. So wellness is not just about the physical health. It's also about the health of your mind, the health of your emotional body or astral body, where we all store emotions and our thoughts. And how we navigate those emotions and thoughts through the heart chakra will make a big difference whether we're going to show up with more of our ego or more of our higher self in every given situation. And it's also extremely important to note how aligned you are with your own self, with your own true nature. So these doshas or default systems really correlate to your own default system. What is the primary driving biological force in you, in your biofield, and how can you build on that? Okay, rather than working on your weaknesses and trying to make them a little bit better or less weak of an area of your field, why don't you just work with your top 5 best God-given concepts that you do not need to work hard at? You just need to actually play your cards well, so to speak. So as I have been contemplating on these issues, I came across a couple of books, and you guys know that I'm kind of nerdy. So one of the books that I love, and because I am a spiritual entrepreneur and I've got a global, spiritual entrepreneurialism in me, I always look at literature as to what other people's experiences are about sales, as a lot of people are kind of getting icky about sales, and that is because they don't understand sales. Sales is not about trying to sell something, okay? Sales is about conveying a message, conveying an energy. We all buy something, so somebody sells something to us on a daily basis, right? So how do we make these decisions, whether we buy why or we don't? How do you successfully convey any of these messages from you to another person or to a group of people? So there's a super cool book, and I want to comment on Cherry Tree's book called Why They Buy. And so why I want to bring this into my conversation with you about wellness code, and just very quickly, of course, if I'm capable of quickly, she believes that there are four kinds of types of people that you need to recognize them when you have conversations with them, when you want to actually convey a message to them. It could be business, it could be personal, it could be just any kind of interaction. So there are the blueprint people. The blueprint people are the people that just they need to be within the box. That's where they feel safe. There's the action people. Well, you can only tell that action people are going to be in action. They're going to go at it and they're not going to worry too much. They've got enough fire to actually apply that and take some risks even. There's the nurturing kind of folks. So for them, what's important is, what is it going to do for my family? What is this going to do for my mother? What is it going to do for the health of my children? And so on and forth. And then there's the knowledge people, like me. Well, I'm actually a combination of all four, so I'm the worst. Anyways, but the thing is that there are the four kinds, right? As Cherry says in her book, cracking the personality code to achieve record sales and real wealth. Okay, so this is just a one concept. So that's why I bring this book up. But there is another concept. I took a course from a wonderful woman here in the Lower Mainland in Vancouver area. Her name is Terry Holland, and Terry is a Neuro Linguistic Programming expert. So I checked some of my notes from my course, and it came to my mind that when Neuro Linguistic Programming was the topic, then actually we were also decoding people. We were decoding whether they are visual in their way of approaching things, or they auditory, which means they got to hear it. They have to have a voice attached to anything that they it's not enough for them to read on it. They're more auditory. They're connecting to sound much more so. And then there's the kinesthetic people. Like, I have got a great friend. She's super intelligent, but she's kinesthetic. So if she cannot touch it, feel it, then she's not going to buy. And then there's the auditory digital people. So once again, there are four kinds. And what also Terry taught us in this course, which is, I think, super amazing, is that when we actually have a conversation, we talk, like even right now I do here, or any YouTuber, anybody that actually educates, lectures, teaches in any field, words are only 7% of the game. Did you know that? And eventually 38% is tonality. And that is so true. I am typically the kind of person where tonality is a really important thing for me. I immediately take a certain energetics from one's tonality, but I think most of us are like that anyways. And guess what? 55% in my book, right here, 55, is physiology. So what's happening here? Neuro Linguistic Programming says that a lot of it is physiology. You know, top record salespeople say it's about a certain personality code or type. So now let's go back to Ayurveda, ancient coding here. Okay, so my wonderful Dr. Mark Halpern, and he's the top on the college that I have attended to and obtained my academic credentials as a health counselor in Ayurvedic medicine. This is an amazing book. I mean, I just can't emphasize enough. Healing Your Life with Ayurveda. Super awesome knowledge. And so when we talk about doshas and the default systems, then we examine your physical structures. Then we also examine your physical functioning. And we also examine your behavioral patterns. And then the combination of these three major pillars will form a certain percentage of energetics of how much air, how much ether, how much fire, how much water, how much earth you are. And once you get your own code, you will actually know, and this is what I do when I actually do a wellness code assessment for you, you're going to have a complete understanding of your own self. So self-awareness is going to be fostered through this understanding. So you actually adjust your day-to-day habits, routines, diet, nutrition. What I'm saying is certain things are not good for certain people. For example, I have a few patient clients, and through them I have noticed that they have had a lot of mental problems, a lot of anxiety, a lot of even tremors, a lot of just mental. They are just mental all the time. They're just constantly stressed. And a lot of them do lots of juicing. And the juicing that they do come from a lot of leafy stuff. Well, let me say this. That's not good for you. If you are stress-ridden, it is actually not the best thing to do for you to have a leaf-based stuff, because it brings even more air energy to your system, and stress is caused by air. So this is just a general summary of what I mean by certain foods are not good for certain people. Okay, I of course will refrain from diagnosing anybody's anything, especially through digital format here, not in this manner. You would have to book an appointment, and you would have to do a half an hour discovery call with me first, and then we'll go from there, see if we're the right fit for one another, and then I can start the actual assessment. A lot of psycho-spiritual evaluation, a lot of questioning, as in a questionnaire that I like to do verbally. I don't like to give you a 55,000 page long form to fill in yourself. I like to have that investigation process with you, and I think that it yields better results anytime, any day, as I know how to actually explore and extract the right answers from you to get to the bottom of your wellness code. So what I'm trying to say is that if you get the wellness code, if you have this understanding, you will be able to bypass so many diseases, so many situations that are just simply not going to have a harmonious impact on your system. And when you are not in harmony, you're not able to show up with the right frequencies, so that people actually get attracted to that, because nobody is attracted to a rotting apple. I'm sorry, okay? So when you're acidic and oxidized and super stressed and fallen apart and you're fragmented, and we all have been there. I'm just saying it is not attractive. Well, it is attractive. It attracts the likeness. So you will attract other people who have similar problems as well. So it's not going to help your frequency. So knowing yourself, knowing your own wellness code, for a lack of a better word, that's what I call it today, your own personalized wellness code, an ancient human design, which is another subject matter I wanted to bring up in here, which is human design. People are very familiar with the human design concepts lately. Those also are based on this ancient knowledge coming from Ayurvedic medicine. All of it is based on the understanding that we innately have certain physiology in us that will guide our decisions, our actions, our words, of how we approach things. So no matter whether you have, a personal matter that you need to resolve, or you have got a business situation you need to resolve, or you need to hire the right people for your organization, or you need to actually locate the right affiliates into your business. Like I have a global distributorship. Who are those people who will get the messages and who are able to convey these messages further to others? I need to know who I'm able to work with successfully, that way bypassing a lot of kerfuffle, right? In terms of your physical health, in terms of your mental health, in terms of your ascension processes, in terms of your long range view or short range view. These physiological energy forces will play a very critical role in every single person's life. And if you are self-aware of your own code, I also educate and counsel my patient clients to know how to recognize these patterns or elements in others, in other people, in their environments. Therefore, they are always able to actually adjust themselves in accordance with that knowing, with that integrated knowledge, and actually really upgrade their energetic signature. So all of this is about a better life, finding your purpose in life, finding, your the right career for you, the right partner, the right vibe tribe. How do you attract into your grid, into your frequency, the people that are actually going to be able to work with you at that level, and so on and forth. So this is a true energetic upgrade from a very deep understanding of ourselves. And so I invite you to look more into my space here on Facebook or on YouTube and check out more knowledge and more information and how you can get your own individualized wellness code based on ancient sciences that's as unique as your fingerprint, and how you can capitalize on it and really launch that rocket to another level. Namaste. This was your Ayurvedic health counselor, Warshi. Thank you for being here. Don't forget about like, subscribe, follow, whatever you have to do, and comment. I would really appreciate it, as it is super free for you, but it helps this channel and these messages to get to as many human beings as possible so that they can benefit from these messages. Thank you so much.